And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I'm Michael DeLon. Today, I am speaking with Lilia Bogoeva. And Lilia, thank you for being my guest today.
Yeah, thank you. It is such a pleasure to be here.
It's going to be a really cool conversation because Lilia does something that's really cool. I don't think I've talked to too many people. In fact, you might be the first one who really you work with people, business owners, entrepreneurs, to help us strengthen our mind through our body. And so I can't wait to get into this. So as we get ready to just take a deep dive, Lilia, tell us, how in the world did you get to doing this?
Yeah, so what I work on is helping people develop their mind-body connection. So basically, it's so that you'll never have to choose between personal healing and success because I help you align your healing journey with the tangible goals that you want to achieve. So you get to stop fighting against yourself and actually start working with yourself. How I got into that, it was really based on my own journey of what I needed to do for myself. So I've always been that ultra type A nut job stereotype who's like super ambitious, always want to win, win, win. I have my background in sports, especially gymnastics. That's a lot of, oh, perfect 10, always go for the gold, first place, perfectionism. And there were good sides to that and some negative sides to that in the long run. I also work in music. So in my late teens, early 20s, I got really into music. I actually have a metal band, Carcaso, with my husband.
Uh-huh.
And so I've been in that space of performing arts, sports, and entrepreneurship all my life. I knew since I was a teenager I would make a terrible employee. So I didn't even try to pursue much
Yep.
like employment past. I was like, I just know that that's not going to go well. So I
Yep.
was focused on my own entrepreneurship, channeling myself into my work. So fully aligning who I am with how I can monetize that. I mean, along those journeys, like I mentioned, there were some pluses and some minuses. Well, minuses, I struggled a lot with eating disorders since I was in my a child, eating disorders, even some addiction, depression here and there, on and off. So a lot of those emotional wounds that I was carrying from early life that I just kept on battling. They kept on manifesting in different ways. So it was always this fight between, okay, here's this emotional wound coming up that's causing these negative things in my life, like whether I'm into eating disorders or depression or the effects of trauma or a addictive cycle or a relationship that's really bad for me. And then I was trying to use my work and my tangible professional career goals to counteract that. Sometimes it worked really well, sometimes it didn't. I made a
Yep.
lot of mistakes and a lot of successes along the way. So as I get older, like every time I fail, I get really desensitized to failure. And that's part of that process of perfecting how exactly I strengthen the mind through the body. It's not always that I do things right. Sometimes it's about failing. And then
Absolutely.
it's about how quickly I can learn from those mistakes and then redirect myself. So that is what I'm interested in. Like for me personally, I physically felt my emotional wounds manifesting and doing tangible physical harm to my body. I was one of those people when I got into depression, it was a very visceral, somatic
Yep.
in my body experience. I mean, I felt the crippling fatigue, the nausea, the flashbacks and re-experiencing, the nightmares, the brain fog, the way it completely screwed up my digestive system, my thinking processes. It was like, whoa, if emotional wounds can affect your body that strongly without much damage, it could also work the other way too. You could actually harness the energy of the body to strengthen the mind as well, and vice versa. You can use your mindset to strengthen your body physically. So I got so interested in that mind body connection. I just keep on putting into practice and educating myself and getting better and better at using it.
That is fascinating because I mean, you just open up all kinds of things. We could go down lots of things
Yeah,
because
we can.
a lot of times business owners and just people in general, we get limited by our beliefs. But what you're talking about is that, but how that connects with how we're feeling, what's going on in our body, and a lot of times we don't connect the two. And what you're able to do is help somebody connect those two and take those, whether it's trauma or whether it's limiting beliefs or something, how it's manifesting in working through your body, almost a two-way street. Is that
It is. It's like a chicken or the egg situation, right? But yeah, what I work with, I'm a somatic practitioner. So somatic is a word meaning mind-body relationships. So I help people strengthen the mind through the body or the body through the mind. It can go both ways. So it's body-based methods for emotional healing. So think about alternative therapeutic practices. So like I said earlier, my husband and I have a metal band and a music lesson studio where we teach all kinds of different styles, different ages. I've also been involved in the fitness and sports instruction scenes, dance as well. So I've been involved in the physical fitness and performing arts basically all my life. So I actually integrate my mind body practice a lot with that. Like I have music students who take the lessons for the purpose of helping themselves manage conditions like depression, chronic stress, ADHD, autism, dyslexia, and I actually help them figure out how to use their body's physical experiences, kind of channel their energy into their playing of the music, and how that playing of the music can help them improve whatever condition they're trying to work on, like with
Mhm.
ADHD, overcoming depression, calming down from stress, or anything like that. On the fitness side of things, I like to work with performing artists who use a lot of physicality, like dancers, actors, and musicians who perform live, or with athletes in the artistic type of sports like gymnastics, ice skating, dance, to help themselves not get trapped into exhaustive overtraining, eating disorder spirals, body insecurities, but still realize that taking good care of their physical and mental health is how you would get the success that you want. It's not by self-punishment, all these damaging cycles.
Right. Well, and it's really cool. You mentioned, chicken or the egg, and it's also not either or.
Mhm.
It is really both and. And for us to understand what our body is telling us. So I read a book year and a half ago called "The Body Keeps the Score."
Oh yeah, that's a really popular one in somatics, yeah.
Well, it totally opened my eyes to what's going on when people who have had trauma, per se, in this book, are experiencing physical ramifications of a mental thing, right? And how they're and that's kind of what you're doing is how do we I mean, the mind and the body are connected, but so many times we disconnect them, right? I want to do exercise. Okay, now I'm going to put that off, and now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to work or think or read and I think there's a disconnect there that what I hear you saying is there's a way to bridge those gap. Help us understand a little bit about your training, your process. You don't have to go into depth because I want to point them to your website because you got some cool videos on there and things. But how do you help entrepreneurs and business owners or athletes start down the process of understanding what is this thing? How does it all work? What would be some first steps for people?
Yeah, I mean, my process benefits entrepreneurs a lot as well. It has a lot to do with helping you maximize your productivity without sacrificing your own personal health. So I boiled it down to a three-phase process. So the first phase is to identify what are the struggles in your life and how your emotional wounds are the root cause of those. So whether it is imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs, if you're struggling on and off with depression and that's limiting your energy, or if it presents itself in an addictive cycle like alcoholism or eating disorders, anything like that, a lot of the time people think that it's an end unto itself, but really all of those things
Yeah.
stem from emotional wounds or trauma. So I help you understand exactly where they're coming from. So that's the first phase. The second phase is using the body-based techniques for improving your mindset. So that's where I go into somatic experiences like deep breathing, helping you identify where exactly stress is stored in your body, how you feel it physically, and get really attuned to your physical sensations. That doesn't even require any fancy movements. You
Mhm.
know, that doesn't involve working out necessarily. It's just sitting there and allowing yourself to feel what it's like to be in your body. And then I also see what'll interest you. If you are musically inclined, maybe we can incorporate some music like singing. I always incorporate some level of using your voice because we all have a voice and we all should use it.
Yep.
So whether you're a singer or just a speaker, I help you express yourself through your voice, build confidence that way. Breath is a part of everything we do in life, so I help a lot with breathing techniques. If you are physically inclined, if you want to get some of that frustration out of yourself physically, I can help you as a certified strength and conditioning specialist. I can definitely help you with that. And I personally like to use physical activity to boost confidence in myself. So if I see that you have a lot of limiting beliefs like imposter syndrome, I might have you practice something like heavy weightlifting. Why? Because a heavy weight represents external resistance. You need to build your confidence in overcoming external resistance. See, so I'm not going to have you, tone your butt necessarily. It's
Right.
not about that. It's about how this activity represents where you want to be psychologically. So I would do, that was phase two stuff I'm talking about.
Okay.
See what you need and what kinds of mind body practices will help get you there. And then step three of that is the funnest part. That's where we maximize, we fully align what you need for your mental and physical well-being with the kinds of goals you want to achieve. So let's say if you are an entrepreneur, I know a lot of your audience is writers. So writers need to be able to tap into their core desires. They need to be able to express themselves through written or spoken words because they might be making an audiobook. Let's say if you do want to make an audiobook, as someone with a background as a singer, I sing in my metal band, I can help you a lot with expressing your authenticity through your voice. That book, The Body Keeps the Score, the one thing I didn't like about it is it's so monotone. Like, I wish that I could give that guy some lessons, be more expressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, phase three stuff is how exactly we apply and align taking care of your mental and physical health with the tangible goals that you want to achieve. So you don't have to choose between success or healing because success equals healing.
Right. No, I love that. You keep coming back to the word align, and I really like that because I think a lot of people are out of alignment.
Mhm.
And if you're driving a car and it's out of alignment, it's going to veer one way or the other, or have bad tire wear, all of just problems, right? And that's what happens when we are out of alignment, mentally, physically, emotionally, all that. Life is not rolling down like it should. And what it sounds like you help people do is really find that alignment through the mind, the body. I love the breathing. That's such a big deal that most of us just go, yeah, whatever. We don't think about it, but it's massive. And to have somebody like Lilia who can guide you down this, a coach per se. I don't even want to call you a coach. It's just, but you're there, somebody who understands, who's been there, and who has a proven process, a pathway to help you stop struggling against yourself and bring alignment so that you can get some breakthroughs and live a better life. Is that a fair summary?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, of course.
Um, how do people get a whole? I mean, this is a topic, Lily, I think you and I could probably dive into and talk about for the next 3 hours at least. I mean, obviously you're an expert at it,
Oh, yeah.
but it's very intriguing. So I know you've got some videos on your website. Is that the best place? Where do people find more information about you in this whole mind body thing? How do they take the next step?
Yeah, my website is a great place to start, myobeatathletics.com.
Okay.
And I use YouTube as my main social media platform. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn, but I would consider YouTube my main platform. It's just Myobeat, Myobeat. There I show a combination of things that I just like to do and
Mhm.
also some useful information for people to feed off of. Yeah, I'd say that my website is the best one place to see it. I
Okay.
also have online courses that I made on an app. It's available in the app stores or on the desktop. It's called MyoBeat, also Myobeat. See, myo means muscle, beat is like musical beats because it
Oh,
has a lot to
God.
do with musicality and movement. So yeah, the
Okay.
way that the online courses work the best though, they're really the best if you incorporate one-on-one sessions with them because totally on your own, just doing it, it's easy to get kind of lost. It really helps a lot to have that accountability and that person motivating. You can talk to me about any struggles you have and in doing the courses and we can work through that. So it is really meant as when someone works with me, the
Okay.
online course is like homework that they could do and then we talk about how it went.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna capture all of that in the show notes. Myobeatathletics.com is the website. We'll have the YouTube channel in there as well, because we are simply scratching the surface here. And I know, Lily, you have so much experience in this and so much to offer and to help people find that alignment. And I love stop struggling with yourself. If you can find the breakthrough and bring alignment to who you are and where you're going, and get your mind and your body working together, you're going to be able to have a more peace in your life, more excitement, and be able to accomplish a whole lot more, and just enjoy life better because the struggle diminishes. So let me encourage you to go to Lilia's website. Again, it's going to be in the show notes. So if you're out exercising or walking the dog or driving the car, don't worry about it. I've got it covered. It's in the show notes, and you'll be able to connect with Lilia, whether it's at her website or her YouTube channel or anywhere else. But we'll capture that. Lilia, thank you. This is an intriguing, eye-opening process that you've created here, and I love how you're helping people find that alignment between their mind and their body so that they can live a better life. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for talking to me about it as well. This has been great.
You are so welcome. Thanks for listening to Expert Speak. Tune in next week for another great episode.